Hey everybody, welcome to the Fish Tank. My name's BadAsFish80 and we have an exciting video for you guys right here, right now. Today, we're going to be checking out the Minion Masters mobile version. That's right, it's going to be running on my phone. It's currently in beta, but it's an open beta, with the only caveat being it's currently only available in Australia, Chile, Denmark, United Kingdom, Indonesia, Philippines, and Poland. I'll put that list of countries in the description. So if you're currently in one of those countries and you have a compatible Android device, you can go to the Google Play Store, search for Minion Masters, and you can get your hands on the latest version that is out there for testing. If you aren't in one of those countries, you can still go to your Google Play Store, check out Minion Masters, and register your interest so you can find out as soon as it's available in your territory. More countries will be added to this list as the testing and the rollout increases. Now, some very exciting things to talk about, but before we actually look at the game, if you get involved and help test the game, you get this very sweet avatar on your account. We've got King Puff riding a shroom puff. Interesting that King Puff is tiny here, but it's a sweet looking avatar. Again, I'll link that in the description so you can check that out, but that's available for everyone that helps test. Now, one thing we do need to remember is this is early access stroke beta. So this is not a release version of it. We are currently seeing where they're at, so please keep your expectations appropriate. But now, there's been some issues with being able to capture my screen to the PC and audio and get it working, and all that's been fun but don't worry about that. Without any further ado, let's get through and check out Minion Masters on mobile. Okay, let me set it up here so I can see it on my screen, as well as so you can tell that it is running. It is running here on my phone. Now, I'm running it on a Samsung Galaxy S8, which is by no means a new phone. And of course, this is a pre-release candidate, so it is not going to be as optimized as a release game. So again, keep all that in mind. I don't know what devices you guys have got out there, but this is definitely not one of the latest phones. I've had this for a few years. It's a great phone, though. But let's jump in and see what we see. Now, you know, a lot of us are going to be very familiar with Minion Masters. We're going to see a lot of stuff that we're familiar with, but it's going to be presented in a different way. Of course, this is going to be designed for a small screen, so things are going to have to be different to what you would expect to see on a PC. Things need to be laid out in a different way, and they need to be accessible with fingers and not a mouse. So what do we see here? So of course we've got the familiar Power Tower. We've also got Valorian, who interestingly at the moment is the starting master. One thing to mention is this version of the game, from a gameplay point of view, from a patch point of view, is relatively old. So there are a lot of stuff that's not currently in the game. And also the masters, Volko is the old ping master and things like that. But that's not the important thing. What we need to look at is what we have options. How do we access different things? So let's click on our profile on the top left. So straight away we see this is different to what we see out there on the PC version, where profile progression unlocks various different things. On PC currently, you generally are only unlocking just currency, whereas here you can see on the progress we're unlocking cards as we go, shards. We've got unlocked the Volko Master, and there's a lot more things. Deck slots, for example, Milloween there. There's a lot more things that are being unlocked through profile progression. So that's one of the things that's different to what we've experienced so far. And remember, all these changes should be reflected in the PC version as well. Asterisks. Because obviously Minion Masters 2.0 is going to overhaul the PC version as well. There's going to be full cross-platform, as I understand it, between mobile, PC, and console. So that's something very exciting to look forward to. Okay, so then we click on the next thing at the top here, which is our battle ranks. So you can see on the left there, we've got battle, team battle, and pre-made team battle. I'm looking at my screen and my phone interchangeably. They've got the same content on them. So we got battle, team battle, pre-made battle, and then you've got the different your different ranks and your rank up rewards. Again, different to what we've seen currently in PC. Whether these would be the rewards that we see in the release candidate, who knows? But here we get a legendary for hitting contender, for example, and that's very different to what we're currently experiencing. Okay, so again, moving along the top, we go to the gold bar, the number 5. And this is our battle pass. So as we've seen before, we've got a free battle pass and a premium battle pass. We'll just give it a second to load. Okay, so if we go back to the start of the battle pass here, we can see that the bottom line is the free pass and the premium pass is the top one. Again, this is probably just a placeholder battle pass because the battle passes are related to the seasons, and this of course is a few seasons behind, but you can see the sort of rewards that we're familiar with seeing in both the free and the premium battle pass, and as we scroll on we can see all the different rewards. I'll just cover them. I'm not going to cover them specifically, but I'll just show them on the screen, so if you want to check them out. There is a little bit of granularity, a little bit of pixelating on the screen. That's more to do with how I'm capturing it rather than how it's looking. It looks clear as day on my phone. But it turns out that capturing your screen in an efficient manner with audio is not the easiest thing in the world. Who'd have thought it? Okay, so that's the battle pass. And then the rest at the top, we've got our gold, we've got our shards, and we've got our rubies. Okay, so let's go back to the menu. We've got the power tower. We've got 5 power tokens to currently open. Just wait for it just to update and we'll grab hold of those. Okay, so every 5th token is guaranteed rare, something we're experienced with if we've been playing the mobile version. Sorry, the PC version. Okay, now there's some interesting things here. One of the things that I want to point out with regards to unlocking more cards and things like that. Here we've got a perfect example. Here we've unlocked the crystal archers. Now we can see, if we look at the crafting with our bronze, silver and gold tier, remember we can open additional versions of the card, additional copies, or craft them to increase the tier of the card. And we can see here we get 1 wild card for having it bronze and 1 additional wild card for having it gold. But the important thing that I like here is look at the silver reward. If we get the crystal archers to silver, then we unlock an additional card, which here is the lone scout. So this is different to what we currently experience, where you don't get extra, you don't get different cards from promoting previous cards. So I think that's an interesting way of making it feel more worthwhile of opening the same card multiple times, and it's a different way, potentially some would say a better way of unlocking more cards and adding to your collection. So that's something that I really like. So we looked at the power tower. Here on the top right we've got the collection. So here are our decks and our crafting menu. Also shows the cards that we've got. So yeah, that's all looking good. We've got the decks here. Deck slots. Now I did have a deck. There it is. Okay, so we've got our deck loaded in. We've got the crafting menu as well. Again, lots of things that we're familiar with, but presented in a different way. One of the things I like here is the filter. There's a much nicer filter system for being able to find specific cards. If you look at the types of options we have here. Oops, we've got spell building, range, flying, tank, horde, hard hitting, destruction, fast, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4. Not exactly sure what all of those are, but it's nice to have that granularity with the searching. We've got our faction options as well as mana cost with the sliders. as well as glory as well, and looking at the rarity, the common, rare, supreme, and legendary. So that's a really nice way of filtering your selection, helping you find cards much more easily than you can currently. We've just got a few more things to look at, and then we'll check out some gameplay, which I'm sure you're all excited to see. So here we have the Masters. Currently I've got 2 Masters unlocked. We've got Valorian and Volko. You can check out the Master here. You can long press on these buttons up here to see all of the perks, as well as the attack, and we've got the different skins. Again, something we're familiar with, but presented in a slicker manner. Now down the left hand side we've got Masters, we've got Avatars. These take a little while to load, but we'll just pop these in. Remember, of course, this is early access, so it's not as streamlined as the final product will be, so let's just keep our expectations appropriate. But for what I've seen so far, I am really liking this. And the gameplay certainly is Minion Masters that we love, but just in a different form factor. So there's our avatars, we've got emotes and arenas. We'll just quickly go through those. Just so you guys can see everything. If you've got any questions, of course, drop them in the comments to the video, and we'll get back to you. The devs have been really good at communicating with us. So we've got a great relationship with Beta Dwarf, being able to ask any questions and hopefully get some answers. Okay, so just whiz through that. We've got the arenas. So again, there's some placeholder graphics here, but not too much of a big deal. Right, so a bit of lag there. That lag, from what I can see, is on the screen capturing, not in the actual game. So not sure how to fix that. The only other thing we haven't really looked at here is the shop, which we've got best offers, daily offers, tokens, and rubies. All sorts of things that we've seen before. But again, presented in a different way. And then we'll whiz back out. The social stuff is grayed out. We can't access that. The quest is also grayed out. We can't access that in this build. And if we go to the settings, so we've got some various different settings here for your profile and things. I'm currently running my graphics on low. Low seems to run okay and look okay. Remember, this isn't fully optimized. My phone's not particularly new either. So we'll see how we can we get through with that. So let's, without further ado, let's try and jump into a game. See how things go. Now, for some reason, I can see the screen is lagging behind my screen on the capture, but we'll do as best as we can here with the technology that we have. So we're just going to load into a game and see how that gameplay works. So the gameplay screen's a little different to what we're used to. The cards are down the bottom left. There's different ways you can interact with them. You can click them and drag them, or you can click them and then click the location. There's different ways to do it. I'm sure different people will have different preferences as to how they wish to interact with the game. So let's just give it a second to load, and then we'll see what we're going to come up against, and see if we can get a win. We did try this on stream yesterday, on Friday. It didn't work out in our favour in the gameplay point of view, but let's see what we could do. See what we do here. Okay, so we can hear the music. Here we're loading in. Probably against a bot with a name like that. Again, the graphics look a little bit pixelated on the screen, but that's not reflected here. And of course, remember, the graphics always looks better on a smaller screen than when they're blown up onto a bigger screen. Okay, so we've got our Valorian deck. We'll drop down our Crystal Arcanist, get some clear there. We're playing against Apep. Okay, so I'm clicking the card, and then I'm clicking where I want it to go. Again, if you want to, you can click and drag, whatever is your preference. So being able to get stuff nicely in the correct position using just touch is probably something that's going to take a little bit of getting used to. but from my experience, it seems okay. Now, the devs did say there is a patch coming out relatively soon, which will address a lot of things that have been brought up in the past. Remember, this has been in closed beta before, so quite a lot of people have been involved already, giving their feedback. You know, it's important if you get involved in these things to actually have your say, tell the devs what you like, what you didn't like, what worked, what didn't work. They're always very happy to hear things like that. You know, testing these things. Got a bit of lag here, not sure what's causing that. Yeah, testing these things is time consuming for the developers, so getting the community on board and being able to get that that resource is hugely important for them. So hopefully, as I said before, if you do get involved, make sure you have your say. You can report bugs if you find any in the game. There's a Discord that you can get involved in. Let them know what your experiences are, and hopefully together between us and the developers, the community get involved, we can help them produce something truly outstanding. A lot of us that play the game love the game. You know, most people that play it really enjoy it. That's a victory. Let's take that. Most people that play it really enjoy the game. A lot of people comment, why are more people not playing it? Well, hopefully with the game dropping on mobile, getting out to the wider audience there, that'll encourage more people to play, not necessarily only on mobile, but on the other form factors as well, coming onto PC and on Xbox. Remember, the devs, in their blog post a while ago about 2.0, they did say there's going to be full cross-platform, so you should be able to play with your account, with your current progress, on whatever device you choose. So hopefully you should be able to play whilst you're at work on your phone, and then you get home and you just log into the same account on your PC or your console, and all your progress is there, your card collection, etc. So if they can make that stick, that will be awesome. That's, of course, we'll have to wait and see. But we are early in the stages here. But it's great that they're rolling this game out. Now it's an open beta. More people can get involved. They can help test it. And hopefully, as I say, together, we can make something truly remarkable. So now we're just loading out of the game. There is quite a lot of loading time that I've experienced in the game, but again, that's something that's likely to be ironed out as things get optimized, when things get decided. You know, they don't want to optimize things too fast, too soon, because things change. There's no point optimizing something, spending the time doing that, and then having to throw it out because you change something and you want to do something in a different way. So it makes sense to get everything working, and then when it's working and in a way that you would like, then you can start optimizing it. So the game's in a pretty good state right now. It's definitely playable, which is awesome. And as each patch comes out, that should make it even better. And I know I'm swinging around on my chair a little bit, but I believe if you're playing a mobile game, there is some legality that you have to do that. I don't know. It's just subconscious, I think. Okay, so we just give it a little bit. We'll come loading out of this. We'll get back into the menu, and then we'll see what we've unlocked, if anything. So remember, as we saw before, there are different ways of unlocking the cards that we haven't seen previously in the current versions. Where if you're leveling up your existing cards, you can also use that as a way of unlocking additional cards. And the cards it unlocks tend to be related sensibly to the card that you have you've currently. So hopefully that's given you guys a good interlude, a good peek behind the scene of a peek behind the curtain of where the mobile version is currently. A lot of cool stuff there. If you've got any questions, drop them in the comment. But thanks so much for dropping in. Thanks so much for checking this out with me. And I will see you guys soon, either on Twitch or on YouTube. I've been Bad as Fish 80. This is the Fish Tank. You're awesome. And I'll see you soon.